Right now, without you knowing it, your brain is running a calculation. It is not thinking about your rent or your savings or whether you can afford a vacation. It is comparing your salary to the person sitting next to you. And scientists who study this say the compulsion is so deep, so ancient, so hardwired, that you are biologically incapable of switching it off. In a landmark study, researchers asked people a simple question: would you rather earn $50,000 a year when everyone around you earns $25,000, or earn $100,000 when everyone around you earns $200,000? The majority chose the lower absolute salary. They chose to be poorer in real terms just to feel richer by comparison. Let that sink in. This is not a personality flaw. This is not jealousy or pettiness or materialism. This is your brain executing a program that is roughly 200,000 years old, a survival mechanism built for a world where your rank in the group determined whether you ate, whether you were protected, whether you reproduced. Your brain does not know you live in a city of 8 million strangers. It thinks you still live in a tribe of 150. Neuroscientists have a name for the brain region that handles this process. The striatum, specifically a part of it called the ventral striatum, lights up when you receive a reward. But here is the uncomfortable detail: it does not just respond to what you get. It responds to what you get relative to what others get. The same bonus that triggers a flood of dopamine when you think you earned more than your colleague produces almost no response when you learn they earned the same. The reward circuitry is fundamentally comparative. It cannot function any other way. Economists call the broader phenomenon relative income theory, and it has been quietly reshaping how researchers understand human financial behavior for decades. The original insight came from economist James Dusenberry in 1949, who noticed something strange in American spending data. People's savings rates did not rise with income the way standard models predicted. The richer people got, the more they spent. Not because they needed more, but because the benchmark of normal kept rising around them. The phrase "keeping up with the Joneses" is so common it has become a cliché, which means most people hear it and immediately stop thinking about it. But the mechanism underneath that phrase is not about wanting a nicer lawn. It is about the brain interpreting a neighbor's new car as a status signal, processing that signal as a potential threat to your position in the hierarchy, and triggering a stress response that does not fully relax until you have somehow closed the gap. It is cortisol, not envy, that is driving the purchase. And here is where it starts slowly killing your finances. When your brain is running this background comparison at all times, it reframes every financial decision you make. A salary raise that should feel like progress instead feels inadequate because your colleague got a larger one. A house that should feel comfortable feels like failure because your friend's is slightly bigger. The goalposts are not moving because you are greedy. They are moving because the comparison engine is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It is tracking your relative position in real time. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill, but the salary comparison version is more insidious than the standard definition suggests. On a regular hedonic treadmill, you adapt to an absolute level and return to a baseline of happiness. With social comparison, you never even get to enjoy the adaptation phase. The moment your income rises, your reference group tends to rise with it. You move neighborhoods, you change social circles, you get promoted, and suddenly your peers are earning even more. The treadmill speeds up as you run faster. There is a well-documented effect in behavioral economics called the last place aversion effect. Studies found that people who are just above the bottom of an income distribution are paradoxically among the most resistant to policies that would help those below them. Not because they are cruel, but because moving out of last place is the brain's most urgent priority. The fear of falling one rank registers as more dangerous than the hope of gaining several. Your brain will sacrifice real financial gain to avoid the psychological catastrophe of being at the bottom. Social media has turned this ancient mechanism into something like a weapon pointed at your bank account. For most of human history, your reference group was geographically limited. You compared yourself to the people in your village, your workplace, your immediate community. Now your brain is receiving a continuous feed of curated financial wins from thousands of people simultaneously. New cars, renovated kitchens, business class seats, destination weddings. The comparison engine was not built to process this volume of input, and it is running hot at all times. Researchers at Harvard and Warwick universities confirmed something that sounds almost absurd when you say it plainly. Absolute income, beyond a certain threshold, has almost no impact on reported life satisfaction. What predicts satisfaction is whether you earn more than the people you compare yourself to. A person earning $40,000 surrounded by people earning $30,000 reports higher life satisfaction than a person earning $70,000 surrounded by people earning $90,000. We are not optimizing for wealth, we are optimizing for rank. So what do you actually do with this information? The first move is the hardest. You have to make the invisible mechanism visible. When you feel the pull to upgrade something, to spend money you had not planned to spend, to feel dissatisfied with a raise that was objectively good, ask yourself whether the discomfort is real or comparative. Is this a genuine need, or is your striatum reporting a gap in rank? Naming the process does not eliminate it, but it creates a moment of delay between the impulse and the action. The second and more powerful move is deliberate reference group curation. Your brain will compare no matter what. You cannot stop the calculation, but you can change the inputs. People who consistently report high financial satisfaction tend to compare downward more than upward, not out of arrogance, but out of conscious choice. They anchor their reference point to where they were 5 years ago, not to where their highest-earning colleague is today. They benchmark against their own trajectory rather than against someone else's peak. The documented reason you cannot stop comparing your salary to others is not a character flaw you need to overcome. It is evolution running a program that once kept your ancestors alive. The problem is that the program was written for a world that no longer exists, and in the world that does exist, it is quietly shaping every financial decision you make. Understanding the wiring does not free you from it, but it might be the only thing that gives you even a small chance of choosing something the ancient brain never considered enough.